Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today we're going to make this super cute, super easy basket for Easter. Every year I try to make some style of paper basket. Last year I don't think I did. I struggled with making one that hadn't already been seen everywhere, hadn't been done everywhere. And this year I've come up with this one, and I kind of like the way it turned out. We're going to use one piece of 12 by 12, but you guys always ask me, can you make it smaller? If I make it with a 12 by 12, you always want it smaller. Yes, we can. Today we're going to make them both big and small. So I'm going to be using this paper to make my basket. It's from the Spring Market collection. I've been using that paper pack like crazy. Don't worry that you're not going to see these score marks that I'm making right here. I have it drawn out for you in just a second, but I want to go ahead and tell you where we're going to score. So with a 12 by 12 piece of paper into your scoreboard, we're going to score first at 4, and then we're going to score at 8. So super easy on this side. Now we want to turn it one turn in our scoreboard, and now we're going to score it at 3 and at 9. Super easy. That's just about it. Now, here's where the tricky part comes in, if there is a tricky part. So on the side where you scored at 3 and at 9, we want to make a mark. I'm going to make a mark in the center at 6. Now, I'm using a Sharpie so you guys can see it. You don't have to use a Sharpie. We're going to cover this up when we decorate anyway, but we do want a mark. You do want a very specific mark too, so mine's kind of chunky. You might want to make a little smaller mark than that. But you do one on that end, and then you're going to turn it still with your 3 and your 9 in and make a mark in the center there as well, okay? That is what we're going to use to help make this little angled score line. Now, I did not use my scoreboard to do this part. I'm going to do it by hand, and let me show you what I mean. I'm going to take a ruler, and you know this new 3-pack that I've been using in place of my pokey tool and my embossing tool that I had? I found another thing that I really, really love. There's this teeny, teeny, tiny embossing tool right here as one of that kit, and it works great for scoring on hard surfaces, okay? So what I'm going to do is on this piece where this score mark here and this score mark here over or intersect with each other, I'm going to use that as my guide. And from my mark I made at the top to that intersection, we're going to make a score mark. And again, I'm loving this tool. Now, if you don't have this tool, just use your bone folder. I got a bone folder handy. You can totally do it with a bone folder, or you can do it with your regular embossing tool. It just works perfect. So I've done one in that direction, and now I'm going to do one in the other direction. So same thing, where these cross over here, and then here, I'm going to line that up and score that. And you want to do that on both sides where you made that little mark. So flip it around. Same thing. This tool is really cool for this. Now, don't press too hard. It's a very tiny nib, and it could go through. But, you know, more passes and less pressure works great. But I really love how well it scores on a flat surface. Okay, let me show you what we just did. So our first score mark, I'll bring this down like this. Our first score marks were 4 and 8. We turned it. We did 3 and 9. We put our mark in the middle, and we scored from here to the intersection and from here to the intersection. So you're going to do that on both sides. So that's what my score marks look like, okay? So now we can fold this guy. No cutting, no nothing. Super easy. All right, what I want to do first is I want to fold on all of my lines that I made. So I'm just going to bring this over, find my score mark, there it is. Go ahead and fold, and I'm going to go ahead and crease. Just like that all the way down. Then I'm going to do the other side, which is here. Line that up and crease it. And then I'm going to do my other long ones across like this and crease. And one more. You do want to do this step first. You got to trust me. I tried lots of different ways. Okay, I tried showing you this. I'm going to try again because I didn't like the way I showed it. This is what we're working on now, our angled fold. So what we want to do is we want to fold our angle, okay? But this little piece right here that's starting to fold back up, that's one of our score lines. Here's what's going to happen. Let me bring it to the side. When we bring our fold in, we're going to bring that up to meet at the top here, okay? So this is what it will look like to the side. If it doesn't meet exact, do not worry. It's very hard to get exactly right in the center when you're making that mark. Don't worry if it doesn't. Let's do this side like this. So I'm going to push my angled line down, okay? And I'm going to tuck that other fold behind, and see how it just automatically makes the side of our basket, just like that. Again, if it doesn't line up exact, do not worry. We're hiding this in just a minute. Now, I did something, probably because it was on my desk and it was real handy, but also because I think it works real well. I took my stapler and I put one staple in right here at the top, and it held the entire thing together. One staple. Now, you don't have to use a staple. You certainly can use your adhesive, sticky tape, art glitter glue, whatever you got. But I just had my staple left over from doing my ATC album, and I thought, this is another good place to use it. All right, so folded that, and I'm going to bring this side up. Okay, so to the other side, fold the angle, okay, bring it up, and it will create that one side for us. So there's the other side of our basket, okay. You're going to get some resistance here because it wants to do the same thing. So I'm going to fold this angle in, and then I'm going to bring this guy in. See, it wants to do that fold. And then again, I'm going to staple it. You do not have to staple. Use what you got, but you can use one staple on either side. You could use a brad if you place it a little lower. So if you just want to put a brad in there, you can, but the staple works. Now, mine's not sitting perfectly flat, and if you have that issue, come in and crease down where your basket has folded. It's a little better to come on in and kind of maneuver it, and that helps it out a good bit. Now let's go to this side. So now I want to show you from the side what we've created. Look, it's really cute, isn't it? Again, don't worry, we're going to be covering this up with decorative things, so if it doesn't line up, you can cut it if you want to, but I'm literally not going to stress about it. I did better on this side than that side, but you won't see it. Now, the only other thing we're going to need is a 2-inch by 12-inch strip. This is my handle. Now, I just glued my handle to the inside. I took my art glitter glue, and I put it onto the front of my decorative paper, like so, and then I slid it behind and centered it just like this. And I'm just going to stand that up so I can get it nice and straight. Hold that for a second to let it catch. And then with the handle, I'm just going to curl it over and attach it to the other side as well. Same thing. So we'll go to the other side. I'll add some glue. Toss that in there like that. And this is where you can make sure everything's nice and straight with your handle. And I like the thicker handle with this basket, but that's just personal preference. You can totally use a thinner handle if you want. I just think the thicker the handle is really cute. Okay, so this is how you make the basket, all right? So that's the 12 by 12. Now let me show you how I hid my workings on my other one. On my other basket, I used my new flower punch, which I'm in love with, by the way. I used this guy right here, and I punched some flowers and put it over my workings and tied this little bow. And that way, by putting my handle in the back, it kind of cleaned up where my staple was so you don't even see it. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and I did the same thing on the other side here. I just decorated, put some little flowers on there and a bow, and there's that. You guys will put any number of things on the side to decorate. You can use your circle punches. You can tie a bow and put right over the workings. Anything you want to do. It's a super cute little spot to do that. Okay, let's assemble the 6 by 6 so you can see how to do it as well. It's the same process. The measurements are a little different, so let's do that one. All right, with your 6 by 6, the first place you're going to score, let me get my right scoring tool. Here it is. The first place you're going to score is 2 inches and 4 inches. Easy so far, right? Now we're going to turn it one time, and I'm going to score it at 1.5 and at 4.5. And those are my score marks. Now, while I've got it here, I want to go ahead and make my mark. I'm going to use a smaller pen this time for my smaller one, but I want to make a mark at 3 inches, okay? And then I want to turn it and make a mark at 3 inches. So now I've got my little marks made. We're scoring it exactly. We're going to do the rest exactly like we did the big guy, just with smaller measurements. All right, let's take him, our ruler, our other scoring nib. I love this little tiny nib. I'm going to go to my mark in the middle, and to where those cross up, I'm going to score those, just like so. I'm going to turn it and do the same thing here. If you can't find your mark, you can go ahead and do your folds. Let me show you. Like this one is in my wood grain, so it's kind of hard to see. So I'm going to go ahead and do my folds here so I can see where that crosses up. Now I can see it. And then score. we go. All right, I'm going to turn it around and do the other end. I'm going to go ahead and fold too, because with that line being there, it's kind of hard for me to see where it goes. There we go. To my middle mark, to my crossovers. Then over here, middle mark to the crossover. Oh, I didn't get that one where it goes. Let's get it right. There we go. I was off a little bit. Let me squirt real good. Okay. So now, let's go ahead and fold these the other direction since they go this way. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier. I'm going to find my fold for my angle. There's one. And then I'm going to let that kind of appear by pushing it. And there's that side appearing. Okay. I'm going to find my angle fold here and just let that appear. Now I do want to make sure I get my fold right. It's a little harder with this little one. Everything's always harder when we do it in tiny. Now again, see how I didn't match up? I'm not going to stress about that. I can trim it off or I can make it work when I cover it with my handle and my decorating. All right, I am going to staple it. You don't have to. I just think this makes it super easy. I'm going to hide it either way and it's held together perfectly. All right, and then I'm going to bring this up. Let's go ahead and find my score mark here. Little angle mark. There it is. Bring that in. Go ahead and find this one at the same time. Just work it up together. All right. Staple that in place. And then I'm going to flatten everything down again with my bone folder. Turn it over. Flatten and flatten. How cool is this? No cutting. There it is. All right, let's do our handle. For this one, I did a 6" by 1" piece, and I'm going to glue it to the inside as well, and then I'm going to put a little pretty flower on the front. And I tell you what, we'll make a flower together using that punch, and we'll put one on here so you can see how to assemble a flower with it. Anything would work. I cannot wait to see what you guys do to put on these little baskets, because every year, if I show you how to make a basket, you guys take the idea and run with it. And I absolutely love what all you guys do with it. So I cannot wait. Be sure if you make one of these, you share it with us. You can share it on our customer gallery. That's the best place for me to be able to see them, because I can go to the customer gallery and see everybody's all in one place. And we already have like 2,000 posts, more than 2,000 posts over there. So if you're looking for any inspiration, that's a great place to do it. Check this out. How stinking cute. Now let's put a flower there and hide our workings. So you can see how I've already been doing this. This is what I've been doing to save paper. Instead of punching this every time all the way through a whole page, I'm just taking a piece of the color I want. I want that leaf to be green. I'm just laying it there and punching the leaf. And I can just move it over or come right up here and do the same thing. And I'm not worried about what's punching there because it's scrap anyway, because that's where the hole for the 6x6 paper piece is. So I'm not wasting anything. And I got 2 little leaves just like that. Then I'm taking another color. You can see I've done it here, right? And let me cut those edges off and I'll show you how you can keep from wasting too much paper. So I'm going to cut this off that I used, make it square again. Now I'm just going to come into the side and punch this one. So I'm going to place this in here so that it covers that flower that I'm trying to get, which is that one. Punch that out. There's my flower. Same thing on this side. Just cover the one you're trying to get. If any goes over a little bit, it won't matter. But you can see I'm really saving paper because I'm just getting the punches that I want. This other one is a little harder to do because it's further down in there. But if you have just a strip of paper, you can do it. But let me show you something I did also, which is really cool. For this flower, I went ahead and punched the whole thing. And I did it twice because I need 2 of those. And I'll show you what happens here, which is really neat. Especially if you're doing like the first one I did, because I made a bunch of, I made 3 flowers for each side of the big one. Look what happens. I now can take this and turn it into a flower all by itself just by using those pieces. So my leaves, my centers, and it even got these. But that's if you want to punch one piece. But I'm going to use these over here and use these for another project. So keep yourself a little something handy to put little punches in, because you can use those over and over again. All right. Here's what I did. I took an embossing end and I rolled the middle to try to get my petals to lift up. just like that, which they do pretty well. Do this one the same. You can put this on a mouse pad if you need to. Put it on something squishy on your desk, that's fine. I just did that. And then I'm going to take this little guy, some glue, put a dot here, put that right there. You can put it in the middle of the flower, or you can twist it and off center it, whatever you want to do. I think I'm just going to leave it just like that. It's fine. Put this little dot of glue in here. Then I just went ahead and glued my leaf to the flower itself. Just like this. And I did 2 leaves on the other one. I'm just going to do 1 on this one. And I took a pearl center and put in. You can do what you want to, but I think the pearls are cute. So these are some little heart pearls. We have these in store, but I don't know if we have them online. This may be a call-in situation. I think we only have these in the front of the store. We might have them online, but I don't remember. All right, so there's my little centers there. And I'm going to glue these onto the sides of the basket. And I did put more glue than I normally would, but that's because I'm gluing it on top of my staple. And I want to make sure it will get in there and adhere really well. How cute that is. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's do the other side. And there you go. Look how adorable. This is the cutest little basket. It'll hold a lot too, which I really like. It's very open. For it to be a 6x6 basket, you get a lot of space inside of there. You can put a lot of stuff. Look, you can give somebody a whole 2-ounce art glitter glue. That'd be cute in there. There's all kinds of stuff you can put in here. And in this guy, it's massive. This is a huge amount of space to put lots of goodies inside of. They are really cute. They're really simple. I cannot wait to see what you guys are going to do. You're going to go crazy. I know you will. You always do the best. Look at this one right here. So cute, right? And on this one, I want to show you. So I made 3 of those flowers, and I did what I call calico flowers, where I just punched papers that had a good front and a good back, the double-sided paper, and then I just flipped the little petals over and matched them up and made them very calico. I love that. I think it looks really cute. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I think this turned out really super cute. And I have a bow on this side. I should show you that side because it's really cute. And if you make these, I do want to see them. I love to see how you guys take my idea and run with it. So head to our customer gallery at maymaymadeit.com and share with us what you're making with this Easter basket. Talk to you again real soon, guys. Bye-bye.